Welcome back, all.
Oh, sorry, I just got really a message I've been waiting on about.
It's fine.
Yeah, about Kieran McKenna and Ipswich, but yeah, sorry. Hi.
Welcome to a service station, Thurrock Services. Not a pretty place, and the weather is appalling. Danny, welcome back.
Okay.
I want to give you an interesting fact and share a slightly gloomy intro. 2019, the sales in the EMEA for Harley Davidson, 44,000 in 2019. 2023, that dropped down to 27,000. Danny, you may not know it, but right here where we are now, Thurrock Retail Park Services, about half a mile from here, this was the spot of my local Harley dealer.
Yeah.
I think about 3 Harley Davidson dealerships around me, 3 of my local ones, have closed down. And if you go online, you can see just an almost endless list of Harley dealers that have closed in the UK. But there are 2 specific Harley Davidson dealerships that have bucked the trend and are doing extremely well. One of them is Wars Harley Davidson, which I visited, can't be more than 2 or 3 months ago. And the other one, Guilford.
Yes.
Guilford Harley Davidson. So, Danny, what are your thoughts? First of all, before we explain where we're going, this is new.
Yes.
Just give us a walkthrough. Give us a walkthrough. One of my favourite bikes.
Yeah. So Sport Glide 21, like I'm pretty much the same. I think it's the one you had on the channel test ride, albeit different colour. And weirdly, when you had that one, I didn't take to it in that colour.
You were blank.
Yeah. I was kind of wasn't fully there, and then but then saw this one. A friend had it up for sale recently and fell in love. And are we not on?
You're on.
Carry
on.
Saw it, absolutely fell in love, and just made peace with the fact. I think it's reasonably well trodden on the channel now that I've been making my way through a number of bikes.
You enjoy exploring different bikes.
Yes,
Let's say that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to, not losing money or anything.
So if we see any negative comments about that,
I know. Yeah, I'm
exactly,
fully aware.
Exactly.
But made peace with the fact actually it's a big bike. A Harley is what I like, and same with the KTM. Like a big bike with more space is just my home ground, I think. And so absolutely love it. Love how surprisingly agile it is actually as well.
Which very few people give it credit for.
The
agility is genuinely there, isn't it?
The sport, they mean sport in the Sport Glide, and you can throw it in and have fun on it, much more so than I felt on the Slim. I don't know why the geometry's different in any past, because I thought it's broadly the same platform, but
so
it
what
just
have
feels...
you done to it? You bought a standard bike.
Bought standard bike, and then we've done stage 1. So Vance & Irons VO2
how good does
air
that
intake. Yeah, it's great, and it it looks great and it works great. And you can you can hear the intake noise on it now, and just how much freer the whole engine feels between that and then the new headers. So Vance & Irons headers, which are stepped and then down into the 2-into-1 Pro Pipe
That's
PCX.
an entire system.
So in 2 parts, but all one system. So that together with the intake, it just, that M8 engine, it just really frees it up and brings a lot more of the power out, or certainly responsiveness of it. It just feels less choked, if that makes sense. But it's pointless doing all that if you don't sort of tell the gubbins, tell the ECU and whatever that you've done it. So it's got a fuel pack FP4 on it as well, which is brilliant. You plug it into the ECU and then it connects to your phone via Bluetooth, and you say, okay, I've put this exhaust on, I've put this intake on, and then it downloads from the cloud the right map for the bike and increases the fuel air ratio, etc., and just gets the map right for what you've put on the bike. So you
happy with it? Everything you wanted it to be?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything? We're going down for a browse, because this isn't just a standard Harley Davidson dealership we're going to. It's meant to be, and bear in mind I'm getting this from Guilford Harley Davidson's website, it's meant to be a world-renowned Harley Davidson dealership. But more than that, it's also known as Guilford Customs.
Yeah.
So they have, at least last time I checked on the website, anything up to 50 custom Harley Davidsons. Anything that you specifically want to see today, Danny? Anything you've got your eye on? I know you've just got this, you're happy with it, but is there anything that could potentially sway you, or is it just a casual look?
It's a casual look, but I do, having had it's my first Harley with a fairing and what have you, and with the boxes, I'm now intrigued around some of the touring models, and do they feel that much bigger? I've got a pretty compact garage with the KTM in there as well, and it's always when me and Glenn are talking about different things, he always be like, you ain't got room for one of the touring bikes.
This is a gigantic bike in anyone else's terms.
But
with Harley Davidson,
it's
there's room to go up.
Yeah. So, albeit I think the wheelbase is the same on the touring, but it's a bigger front wheel and bigger bags, etc., bigger fairing. So I'd just be intrigued to see what that looks and feels like versus this. Never say never.
Let's do it. Right. I mean, I'm going to try and film a bit of the ride down the Insta 360. It's so wet. I don't know if I'm just going to get raindrops on it, but we'll take you around, show you Guilford, Harley Davidson. Thank you. Welcome to Guilford Harley Davidson. They do new bikes, used bikes, live wires, and they've also got Guilford Customs, which is a little kind of side arm that they use to modify customers' bikes to order. The rain stopped. I felt so sorry for Danny because it was torrential rain. He's completely soaked and I was just as dry as a bone. So I'm going to grab the camera. I'll do a tour here because this is an especially nice Harley dealership. Now we've got a gap in the rain. Let's go front to back. Selection of bikes outside. This ST. This is an especially good looking bike. I'm a huge fan of this. Even a couple of live wires, which aren't still a common sight on the roads, and that is one of the first Del Mars I've seen. I've never seen a Del Mar on the road in my life. Harley Davidson Sportster, the entry level, which is the Nightster. Then of course you've got the Fat Bob, Heritage, and one of my favourite bikes, Street Bob, just stripped back bobber. Now, this is also worth mentioning the home of the Hogsback chapter since 2008. So any meets with that chapter of the Harley Owners Group will be done here, or at least a lot of them will. Any Harley dealership you go to, if they can get their hands on one of the old air-cooled Sportsters, then they're going to be one of the hottest bits of property in the dealership. This is the 72, and trying to get your hands on one of these 72s is unbelievably difficult. This one's been heavily customized, so you can see it's all chrome, everything, even the side panel. And they hold their value so well. £11,000 for that. Trike, Guilford Customs, so you can see this is a modified Pan America with an exhaust, different paintwork and a few other bits and pieces. But this is the little side point of the business that will do the customizations to customer bikes. Service centre here. I love the way they keep the heritage element to connect to the past and the future. And then you've got the service desk here with a little view through. I'll show you what they've got at the moment. Didn't expect to see a Ducati there, but you can just see right to the back. And this is where they'll do not only the maintenance and servicing on the bike, but also they'll do some of the custom work for Guilford Customs to modify customers' bikes according to their requirements. Through this way to the ground floor of the new bikes. Take a look at this one. Harley Davidson CVO. This is with the 121 Milwaukee 8 engine. So this one's been really heavily customized over the standard model. £38,500, but just look at the attention to detail everywhere on it. Rockford Fosgate speakers, beautifully done seat here with contrasting materials, and the fit and finish of everything is of the absolute highest level. Harley Davidson standard, again, these are brilliant looking bikes, but there's one thing that surprised me here. From all of the lineup, that's Aaron in the back there just working away, out of all of the lineup of the Harleys, I had no idea what would be the best selling of all of them. And I was shocked. One of these bikes here, out of these 5, is the best selling bike in Harley Davidson UK. And it is not the Fat Bob, not the Street Bob. This is what I thought would be the best seller, but it's actually this, the Harley Davidson Sport Glide. It is the best selling bike, and I see why, because it comes in at about 17.5K. It's powerful, you can strip it back so it looks really good, and it's got panniers and a fairing, so it will cross continents, mile munch, but can be stripped back and looks as good as any other Harley Davidson. Danny looking very wet and a little bit worried. I wonder what's going on there. No, I won't ask him any questions. This is an example here of one of the bikes that Guilford Customs will be doing. So this, I think, is the breakout, and you can see they're doing quite a lot of work to that bike. In fact, let me just come around here. I'll show you a few of these. Lineup of Pan Americas coming in at about 14 to 17K. I've ridden one of these about 2 or 3 years ago. That is an excellent, excellent bike. Coming upstairs. And we've got, where should we start? So we've got a lineup of the street glides here. Again, Danny loitering around here. I wonder what he's doing there, but Danny's over there having a look at that stuff. Check this one out. £19,500. one of the meanest looking bikes I've ever seen, with these mirrors just sitting underneath the handlebars. And one of my picks for one of the best looking bikes here at the dealership, it's a 2012 Harley Davidson Softail Slim with a couple more used bikes behind it. Something's being moved at the moment. Coming through here to the clothing and gear section, but I think what these are here, I think these are the custom bikes that Guilford Customs will have done for their customers. Everything from Road Kings to Night Rod Specials, the older ones, 2017. And look at this for a Street Bob. Street Bob Racer. The eclectic mix of projects that they can actually turn customers' Harleys into is very impressive. Okay, through to the clothing section. Coffee as well. See, this is what Harley Davidson is so good at. As well as all of the bikes, it's all of the gear that goes with it, the lifestyle selection. So you've got all of the stuff for men and women. Boots, everything you want, and a little cafe section over here as well, so you can, well, you would sit down here, take a look at some finance offers and try and do some calculations to justify the upcoming purchase. And these are some of the rides they do. So get a Harley Davidson, it's the lifestyle that surrounds it and everything with that. So signing up for the events and away events and also local with the chapter rides. The amount of stuff they've got is gigantic. So you can see here the British stuff, French, Bordeaux, Black Forest in Germany here, Damson Ghent in Belgium, Rheem and Cirencester. And some branded mugs. Lind. I can sit in it, can't I? Street Glide Special 2022. Just have a look at this. This is about £20,000. The reason I wanted to show it, about 12 years ago, I went to Las Vegas and I rented one of these for 2 days. And it's one of the bikes that really gave me that love affair of Harley Davidson. I know a lot of people will think that the front end is just massive with that huge fairing and the gauges here. You've got speaker here, you've got a spot for your phone to tie in there, you've got sat nav, everything is here, huge panniers. But I remember riding this all day, just with the music blaring on either speaker, and it was one of the most memorable riding experiences I've ever had in my life. Probably about twice a year I'll go online to the classifieds, Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and I'll have a look at the old ones of these to see how much they cost, because they do something to me. I can just imagine us chatting to Danny, you know, if you have one of these bikes and you're getting ready to head off to Germany or the south of France, I can't imagine many bikes I would rather do it on than one of these. These are incredibly special bikes. Street Glides. Oh, I love them. Hottest property in motorcycling right now. The amount of people I speak to, I went for an event a few days ago and I was chatting to everyone and I was talking to people about the kinds of bikes that they want. So many of the people said exactly this. The old air-cooled Sportster. I know I mentioned it downstairs, but this is a 2018 Sportster Iron 883. Just have a look at that. The most classically styled Harley Davidson, possibly that's been made in the past 20 years or so. But the fascinating thing about this is a 2018 model, and it probably was about this exact price when it came out brand new, meaning if you would have bought this bike back in 2018, 6 years ago, they're in such insanely high demand now, it won't have lost 1 penny. It always makes me think, this type of stuff. If Harley Davidson want a guaranteed seller, aiming at the more entry-level bikes, looking at, let's say, the 10, maybe £11,000 mark, just build an old air-cooled Sportster, just like that. (2024) Street Glide. Look at what you get with this, the levels of comfort. So starting at the top, you can decide how to deflect the air that comes through the top of that windshield. Then you've got this huge screen here. So on the left-hand side, you have the speedo, which will be on all the time. And then the right-hand side, I think you can toggle from sat-nav and things like this. These are the biggest handlebar controls that I've ever seen in my life. It's not just on the right-hand side, it's on the left-hand side as well. Speakers either side, right next to the mirrors. And check this out, imagine if you're doing European touring, you get to one of these péage booths in France or something like that, and you need to get a bit of cash, or you need to get your phone, credit card, something like that. It's just the little things. So this pulls out here, and that's more than enough room for a phone, credit card, and coins. And just at the back, you've got the charging port. It doesn't seem like much, but all of these things, Harley Davidson are one of the market leaders at just thinking of all these little things. How can we make the bike the best possible tool for doing proper distances on? Well, it's a couple of days later and I forgot to wrap the video up. Harley Davidson Guildford. No surprise to me that it's an exceptionally good dealership, full of, as is always the case with Harley dealerships, the nicest, most friendly, most knowledgeable staff, and Harley Davidson still lead the way when it comes to quality dealerships and destination dealerships where you could easily spend an hour or two just having a wander around. But with regards to Harley Davidson's struggles at the moment and the closures of dealerships, it's no coincidence that now my two closest dealers are Chelsea and Guilford. And if you're not familiar with the UK geography, they are two of the very most affluent areas in the entire UK, because if you want to buy a Harley Davidson, it's an expensive hobby, but I highly recommend it. Harley Davidson Guildford. Brilliant, brilliant place to head off to, so go and check them out. Thanks so much everyone for watching. Have a brilliant week, and I'll see you all in the next one.